Rogers vanished in the middle of the night in 1981. Her daughter was only 5 years old at the time and has fought to get attention on this case. She's also fighting for a new law that would change things for missing families across the country. Because there's hope someone in the deaf community out there knows something, we've enlisted the help of a sign language interpreter to spread Lonene's story. Besides a few seconds of 8mm film, Alison Duiker has only one real memory of her mother, 29-year-old Lonene Rogers.
I remember she was curling her hair. She had this long, beautiful blonde hair. I just remember being in awe of how beautiful she was.
She was born deaf, but you know, it didn't stop her at all. She was real bubbly, a lot of fun.
In 1972, Lonnie, as she was known to her family, married Clinton Bud Rogers, who was also deaf. They lived on the second floor of this house outside Erie, Pennsylvania. Old photos show what looks like a happy couple. But Lonnie's family says by the fall of 1980, the relationship had soured. Then a bombshell.
They found out that he had a record and that he had been in jail.
This is the criminal record report from my father. Things from breaking and entering, stealing cars, staging a robbery in his place of work.
Lonnie kicked Bud out, but in December, she agreed to let him stay for the holidays.
She allowed him to come back to the apartment and sleep on the couch so that he could be there Christmas morning with the kids. But then after the holidays, he refused to leave.
According to her family, Lonnie was fed up and planned to leave with the kids. But on the morning of January 7th, 1981, everything changed.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. My father wakes me up and says, "Your mother left for another man. I need you to get up, help me get your brother, and I'm taking you to the babysitter so I can go find her."
We knew it was a lie. She would never do that. She would never leave her kids.
Lonnie's father, a volunteer firefighter, organized a search party.
They searched the woods, they searched with dogs, they searched with helicopters, but did not come up with anything.
Over the years, flyers, newspaper articles, billboards, Alison even wrote a book about the case. The only solid lead came just a few years ago when Alison heard a third-hand story about her father making mysterious trips to a wooded area.
He kept stopping at this one location, and he would make the girlfriend stay in the car, and he would go into the woods and then come back.
And he allegedly had a chilling warning for the girlfriend.
One day, she said to him, she must have gotten the guts somehow, to say, "Is Lonnie in there? Why do you keep going in there?" And he said, "You keep your mouth shut, or I'll put you in there with her."
Alison turned to Facebook, sharing the story with thousands of followers. That's when a stranger offered to bring cadaver dogs.
The dogs came, and they alerted to the same exact spot every time. We cut that tree down, and so the tree was kind of like toppled over and the roots were exposed, and they alerted to the stump of the tree.
Alison believes her mother's body was there and possibly moved. Without a body, the case has gone cold. Alison says it's time for the state police to let her see any information they have, but they refuse, saying it's still an open investigation.
What if I could connect A and B and that would get them to C? But they'll never know and I'll never know because they won't share it with me.
She's pushing for a law named after her mother, which would allow families access to cold case files after 20 years.
Lonnie's law would change things, not only for my family, but for the thousands, hundreds of thousands of families that are dealing with the same thing.
Meanwhile, a new private investigator is breathing new energy into the case.
My experience has been that bad people like to get things off their chest.
Jeff Walters began working the case in 2024. He and Alison have been reaching out to the tight-knit deaf community around Erie, Pennsylvania, and they hope our story will reach someone who has information.
I think by going to them with a video with the sign language interpreter explaining that, maybe that would be enough to encourage that person or persons to come forward.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.